Well, what's up, guys?
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
and welcome to episode 57 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. Yes, we are in the week before the Super Bowl. My goodness. We're officially 13 days away from the Super Bowl. And I guess we have a couple topics here. We got some variety this week. It's not all football. I say it's not all football, but we're going to start with football. And we're just going to go over the conference championship games this last week, which saw a shocker. And the Bengals coming back from 18 points down at Arrowhead to win and send themselves to the Super Bowl. Like, that is unbelievable. The Bengals winning 27-24 in overtime after getting a stop on Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, a lot of stuff to debunk there. I mean, does anyone want to start with something in particular?
I have two things.
I'm so happy we don't have to see Jackson Mahomes and fucking Brittany in the Super Bowl. Fuck you two. I hate you. Come on the podcast. I will fucking duke it out with you for an hour and a half. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy we don't have to see them on the sideline for the Super Bowl. Absolutely pumped. Sorry for Patrick Mahomes though, because he is a really likable guy, but his family just sucks.
The real turning point of this game was that decision by Andy Reid right before halftime.
Yeah.
One that I don't like.
You could even almost argue it's Patrick Mahomes' decision.
No, that's Andy's decision.
I mean, they had 5 seconds. You chuck it into the ground, you get a field goal.
Oh, yeah, maybe Patty Mahomes' fault, but Andy Reid is the one making that decision.
Yeah.
There's
but I'm
no
sure
way.
Andy Reid probably didn't say throw it out.
the flats.
He's
way.
probably saying throw it. He's probably saying throw it unless you have a guaranteed touchdown. And I think Patrick Mahomes just said, "I'm going to trust Tyreek to do his thing," and it didn't work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're still taking that risk
as
as the coach calling a play instead of kicking the field goal. So as much as Patrick Mahomes threw it to the wrong guy, Andy Reid made that call to go for it.
Yeah, but I also think 5 seconds from the one is enough time to get 2 plays in.
Plenty of time, yeah.
I think a lot of coaches are making that decision. Like
it's a quick slant. If it's not
I
there,
wouldn't
you throw
say
it
exactly.
back.
That's exactly it. It's like if it's a quick slant, it's not there. You throw it away. You take the points. Like
it's not the wrong call by any means.
It's just questionable given what happened.
But they were
definitely
just
got the
at that
Bengals the
time-
momentum.
But at that time in the game, I think it's like not crazy. Like they were going for the jugular in the first half.
No, not at all.
Maybe a questionable time to do it and go for that kill shot, but they were up like substantially.
They were
into
up
halftime.
21-10. You make it a 2-touchdown game, or you risk not putting anything on the board.
All right.
And they were getting the ball back at half, so
yeah.
I didn't hate it at all.
No, I'm not saying I hate it or anything. I'm just saying it looks bad on him now. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Gave the Bengals the momentum.
Yeah, and we can all agree that Patty Mahomes low-key folded from that point on.
Yeah, and that's like Patrick Mahomes looked as bad as we've seen him in his career, probably in the second half. But the Bengals dropped 8 guys in coverage the whole second half, and honestly, we could see a repeat performance of that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, the fucking Monstars came in and stole fucking Patrick Mahomes' powers at halftime. That was bad.
We saw the Chiefs in the second half that we saw early on in the year.
Absolutely.
Counterpoint, like just great adjustment by the Bengals DC. That's what he's not going to run all over you the whole game.
No.
You give up a couple 7-yard runs, but to shut him down like that was very impressive. And they got a couple sacks, rushing 3 late in that game to force the field goal to tie it. So great performance by that Bengals defense.
Quite possibly like a low-key top 5 offseason pickup was Trey Hendrickson.
Oh wow!
A lot of people thought they overpaid for him just because he had a fantastic.
I said that on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people's argument was that he was getting overpaid. I mean, he led the league in sacks last year, or led the Saints in sacks. I don't know. He led someone in sacks, but
Definitely
he had a
wasn't
crazy
the lead.
year, and a lot of people thought that it was because like a lot of teams were blocking Cameron Jordan instead of him. But I guess he went and proved it in Cincinnati. Like, wow, he's a beast, man. Like,
He's an animal.
And Sam Hubbard too on the opposite side of him.
Hubbard had a
Because of the
game.
Twin Towers, he's a baller.
I agree.
Yeah, and listen,
Talk about
the
the
fact that
rookie.
we haven't said the two words Joe Burrow yet is shocking too. I mean,
I'm done fading Joe Shiesty. I'm done. I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one more time.
So cold. So cold.
yeah, listen, Joe Burrow with an absolute unbelievable performance, cold as ice, walking into the game, looking fly as hell. I don't know how a lot of us bet against him.
All I know is my
guy-
boy Evan has the biggest nuts in the fucking NFL right now. This guy cannot miss.
That too.
Gator made, boys. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it until he misses. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I was getting scared near the end of the game though when they just weren't kicking that field goal. They kept like pushing down to the 10. I was like, okay, kick the damn field goal. Like they should have kicked it
Bro,
5
once they
minutes.
got to like the 25, I kept saying
Yeah.
they need to kick.
Yeah, no, but what a game. What a game.
Agreed.
We've been
And it goes
blessed.
back to our conversation from last week. Is everyone's argument against not changing the OT rules is saying get a stop. Everyone said the Chiefs are impossible to get a stop against in the playoffs, and the Bengals went and did it quite easily, to be honest. Like unreal.
And again, kind of like we said with the Bills game, like you knew going in whoever got the ball first was going to win. But you know, going in, if you told me the Chiefs were getting the ball first, I said the way this game's played out, very good chance they get a stop right here. Like you can just tell based on the momentum going into overtime.
And the whole crowd was like juiced as soon as the Chiefs won the toss.
Yeah, the announcer even said it.
You heard Tony Romo say like the crowd's getting crazy right now. They think the Chiefs already won, and he's like, I'm not so sure about that. And then everything else unfolded. So I still think the rules are going to change though. If I had to guess right now, I think there's going to be. What do they need half the teams or whatever, a majority, so they need 17 out of 32?
So they need 24, I think.
24?
I think it's 75.
I could, maybe not then, but.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 24 or 32.
Also, cool fact, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow have never lost a playoff game together.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
No player has ever won the Heisman National Championship and the Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow has a chance to do it in 3 years.
That's fucking crazy.
Ridiculous.
Ugh.
Coming off a freaking knee injury too. Like,
And his O-line still sucks. He still gets hit 8 times a game.
Like,
It's actually crazy.
oh man.
I don't want to get too much into the game next week because that's gonna be a big talking point. But man, like, we'll see. But yeah.
Wait, before we move on quickly, do you think I'm not comparing them to the Habs, but do you think the Bengals are just on like a wild, like just hot streak right now, riding so much momentum?
Yes.
Like we saw them throughout the year. They weren't this good throughout the year, I don't think.
No.
I mean, they had some big wins. Like they swept. They swept the Chiefs already. We see that they had that big win late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd they sweep? The Browns, I think, or did the
I
Browns
don't
beat
think
them
this team's
twice?
actually built to win a Super Bowl. I think they're riding the fact that the whole country is loving them right now.
I think they are. That's a part of it too. But I also think they have a great young core in place right now. Like, there's not a lot of guys. Oh, that guy's walking at the Rams have a bunch of guys. The Bucks have a bunch of guys that are like they could walk in a month, or as soon as they lose. But the Bengals have a great core in place. So,
They'll definitely be back. I just don't think right now is their time.
no, yeah, it's fair enough. I like what Zach Taylor's doing though. Like a lot of people hated on him last year, but
hey, you never know. We've seen crazier things, man. I mean, a lot of people thought the
Absolutely.
Chiefs were a shoo-in for the Super Bowl, and they just lost to a 7-point underdog. Like,
Yep.
you never know.
To the NFC, Matt.
Yeah, the NFC. Listen, San Francisco beat the Rams twice this year. Looked like they were going to do it again, up 10 points in the fourth quarter. And the Rams came back and did it. Matt Stafford, now 3-0 in the playoffs as an LA Ram. Absolutely shutting down all of the rumors and all of the critics saying he couldn't win a playoff game. I mean, the guy was in Detroit. Like this is like prime example of how an organization can ruin someone's career. You look like a guy like Matt Stafford, who we know has always been the most underrated guy in the league just because he played for Detroit.
Yep.
And we said it this year. We said if he shits the bed, then we can't say he's underrated anymore. And now he's not even underrated anymore because he's proven
Properly rated.
he's that guy. Like you put him in a situation where he's got stars around him, and he's that guy. I mean, look what he did with Calvin Johnson. Not that like Calvin Johnson obviously was a different breed. He was the best receiver in the NFL. But look what he did with Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, 2 of the best receiving years of all time. Like, obviously, the receiver has everything to do with that, but you got to give the quarterback some respect, too.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy for Stafford.
Me
So
too. Oh,
happy
my
for
God.
him.
I'm happy for this whole team full of vets. Like, obviously, Von Miller has his ring, but like a lot of these guys, like OBJ, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, like these are future Hall of Famers. I know most of them are young-ish, but these are future Hall of Famers and Whitworth, again, super excited for him. But these are guys that could get their first ring, which is really, really cool. It's kind of like the NBA this year or the NBA last year, where I didn't care who won because on both sides it was something really cool. Either Giannis got his first ring or Chris Paul got his first ring. So, I don't care. But this, like, the Super Bowl is kind of shaping up to be like that. It's not Mahomes. It's not Brady. It's not any of them, like, not ring chasing, but guys who have been there before. It's brand new teams, brand new guys.
Even Weddle came back for this. Weddle came back, and now they're going to the Super
And
Bowl.
Weddle led the Rams in tackles last night. Like, how crazy is that? This guy was literally retired a month ago. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's definitely a good story. And then, like,
OBJ.
who are you taking over Sean McVay right now?
No one.
As an offensive mind, like, they went and got OBJ just to find more matchups, and look what they did yesterday. Both guys over 100 yards, him and Cup.
Bro, that was his first game over 100 yards in like 36 games.
Since 2019.
Yeah, 33 games. Back to week 6,
Week 6, 2019. Yeah.
The Rams are like single-handedly proving to the NFL that not having first-round picks is not necessarily the craziest thing in the world. They haven't had a first-round pick since Jared Goff. They're not going to have one until 2024. They're going to have 2 Super Bowl appearances within that span. Maybe a Super Bowl win. Like,
I mean, I don't think that many teams actually value their first-round picks. When you're trading a first-round pick for a guy like Stafford, or who else did they trade it for? Ramsey. Those are guys you can't draft.
Yeah.
Those are guys that are nearly impossible, especially when you're drafting in the 20s every year. You're not finding those guys. Stafford went 1, Ramsey went 5. Then they traded a third for Von Miller. Von Miller was 2nd overall. You're not going to find a Von Miller in the 3rd round.
And you can still, I don't know. I find you can find it. The NFL is one of those leagues where you can get a lot of steals or like a lot of good NFL players.
You could, but are you going to take your chances with Von Miller, who's going?
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they don't mind getting rid of those picks because I think they also know that they'll be able to find guys in the draft as well and guys who can help them right now by trading those picks. So that's huge. Also, I just want to talk about the coaches again. It's the first Super Bowl ever where both coaches are under 40 years old.
That's sick.
That's unreal. Eh? Like these guys are young guys. It's crazy.
Zach Taylor came from Sean McVay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy, I don't know.
That coaching tree is quickly becoming one of the most exciting coaching trees in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Kevin O'Connell will probably be the next one.
True. Do you think the Niners move on from Jimmy G anytime?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, no.
There's no way you traded up to get Trey Lance to sit him for 2 years.
Because Jimmy G botted on the last drive the Niners had. Oh, man.
I literally said when the drive started, I was like, I feel like he's going to throw a pick. And then 3 plays later, what happened? It was too good.
He threw the most Carson Wentz interception ever.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Getting sacked, underhand, not looking backwards.
Well, that's one of those you just try and throw away because you got to save your life.
And the worst part is, like, I know it's like you don't make that throw under any circumstance, but it went right off JaMychal Hasty's hands.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean,
it was also like 3rd and 16. So
Jimmy, like, women's league softball, like, underhand ripped out of his face, but still, like. Anyways, yeah, it's the end of Jimmy G. I wonder where he goes because there's a lot of teams that could use a guy like him.
Bro, he's an upgrade on a lot of teams. Like, as much as I make fun of him for being a game manager, he's an upgrade on a lot of teams, and he's won. Like, well, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he's been there.
Hey, we've seen what he could do with a decent play caller. Like.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited. The Niners have a pretty bright future. Raheem Mostert's going to come back. Trey Lance, you drafted him at 3, so obviously you really liked him. So it's going to be interesting. And the offense completely changes. Jimmy G can't run for more than 5 yards, but Trey Lance gets 5 yards in half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, listen, I'm a Saints fan, and our quarterback situation is absolutely up in the air right now. And I'm not saying I want Jimmy G, but if we got him and we got a decent play caller, I think he could do something. Listen, like, as much as we like number one thing when evaluating players, besides statistics and all that, is the eye test. We could all see that Jimmy Garoppolo is just not
so
an
handsome.
elite quarterback. Like,
What?
he's just so mid, right? But
What? Yeah.
you look at his stats. This guy, all he does is win. Like with the Patriots, even though he was behind Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, he won when he played. He goes to San Francisco, goes to the Super Bowl in his first year. Like,
Didn't he
it's so
win
hard.
his first 10 games as the San Francisco starting quarterback?
Yeah.
He came in and they finished the year like whatever 6 or 7-0.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's a game manager and he's going to throw for less than 200 yards probably every week except for like 5 max. But he's going to get you the wins and he's going to put you in a position to win the game.
He's not a game changing quarterback, but
No.
if
You
you're
could win with him.
if you're a
I
team,
think you could win with him.
but even if you look at a team like Denver, who has a great they have good weapons on offense, they have a great defense. Jimmy G comes in, he's definitely doing better than. Well, I like Teddy, but I think he's a little better than Teddy Bridgewater and absolutely better than Drew Lock. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation. He even came out with in his press conference yesterday saying, I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, but I love this team. I love the guys here. I mean, obviously you're going to say that, but it's kind of like an exit. That's an exit interview. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
He's having surgery on his thumb and he's supposed to be out like 4 to 6 weeks. And whatever team he goes to, he wants a new contract. Well, the one that's not going to pay him probably $30 million a year like he's getting paid now, but still.
I don't think anyone's going to pay him that much.
He's going to be a long-term guy somewhere.
And that's why I just don't think the Saints are going to be able to afford him, is because the Saints are going to need to get a guy on a low contract or a prove-it contract, and I just think Jimmy G is going to be asking for too much. That's why I'm scared they're not going to get Jameis in there, because I think Jameis is going to ask for a bunch too, but you never know.
I think Jameis can ask for a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got hurt. Nobody's going to give Jameis a hefty contract. And if you do, odds are you're not lasting very long as a general manager in the NFL.
Problem with the Saints, though, is I don't think they can offer anyone a decent contract. That's how down bad they are.
That's what happens when you pay your backup quarterback more than a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Still don't get that deal. I still don't get it, but that's not what we're talking about tonight, boys.
Tomorrow for the 17th time.
What?
It's getting restructured again.
Probably.
Honestly, probably, but yeah.
Bro, the guy's going to retire, and the Saints are still going to owe him $65 million.
Yeah.
Because of all the restructuring and shit.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when they were using him, when he was in his prime a couple of years ago, I mean, it was kind of, he was like one of the talks of the NFL. Like he was like the new, he was like what Deebo Samuel is now, like not as a running back, but as a Swiss Army knife. You know, the Saints were using him everywhere. Like you could argue they're using him in more ways than Deebo Samuel. Like, but
if you gave me the choice of Deebo Samuel or prime Taysom Hill, it's not even up for debate.
I'm taking Deebo Samuel. I'm not saying that he's better. I'm saying they used him in more different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could talk about football forever, but I guess we'll leave that for next week, because next week's gonna be our Super Bowl special. So you better stay tuned for that one. But with that being said, we can move on to the next topic. We're gonna talk about some basketball, and we're gonna talk about the NBA All-Star rosters. Well, not the rosters, but the starters coming out. I guess we could start with the Eastern Conference, which I think they got pretty right in terms of voting. DeMar DeRozan and Trae Young getting in as guards. Kevin Durant, who's going to be the captain of his team. Giannis and Joel Embiid. Honestly, I think they're the top 5 players in the East this year. I think they got it completely right. And for the most part, they got it pretty right in the West with regards to one person. They had LeBron James as the captain. He ended up winning the All-Star vote again with Nikola Jokic and Andrew Wiggins getting in as a starter.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
It's sick, but it's wrong. And then the guards, Steph Curry and John Morant. couldn't ask for two better guys.
I think. See, my one point with this is I had Booker in over Ja.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. A major talking point has been, but like, yeah,
it's not that Ja isn't deserving at all.
Yeah, no,
At all. I just had Booker in over Ja, but him and CP3 are both gonna make it in as.
Yes, of course. But like Phoenix is also the first seed in the West right now, so
exactly.
I think
for them not to have an All-Star.
I think the reason Wiggins is there is because I think everybody realized that he's having a year that he deserves to be an All-Star, and that he probably wouldn't have gotten in if he wasn't voted in as a starter.
That's the thing. He got the votes. I saw some big story how like some like famous Korean hip-hop artist just like made a post on Twitter or whatever, and like apparently like he got hella votes from like fans. He was like, "Oh, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm thankful for him," or some shit. It's kind of jokes.
Sure, he also had like all of Canada backing him too, you know.
Yeah, like listen, like we could sit here and say we love Andrew Wiggins because we're all Canadian. We all followed him ever since he was in high school and college, and like, what are you going to do? I mean, finally he gets a chance. He was the number one pick. He was one of the biggest stories ever, the best Canadian prospect of all time. And his career has just not been great since he got in. And, I mean, he gets the all-star starter spot, probably undeservingly, but, you know, I feel bad for guys like Paul George. Draymond Green, not so much. Yeah, Paul George was
out for the year.
Paul George he's hurt.
Yeah, but he still should have gotten votes by then, I guess. Like,
why would you vote someone in that can't play, that hasn't played in a month?
I mean, by then it's like, it's I guess not. Yeah, but there's also guys like I know.
Either way, they would have just chosen someone else.
Yeah.
Literally.
Then there's Rudy Gobert. I know you're not gonna like hearing that one, but
but I don't think they can take because Wiggins isn't playing center.
Yeah, but they could.
Yeah,
like, there's no center. There's no designation for positions now. Just backcourt, frontcourt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. The two guys on NBA today, Burke and Lowe, they both said they voted for Rudy over Wiggins in the front court for the
Rudy's
West.
Gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's crazy. Like, I think Wiggins, like Shane said, is having an all-star year. Probably wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for this vote. And at the end of the day, like, who cares? He's gonna be there. All the guys that were snubbed are going to be there too. So I at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's really cool to see. Obviously, we, like Matt said, we love Wiggins. We're Canadians. So yeah, it's just cool to see.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with Wiggins being there.
But yeah, for me, it was Booker. I think, like Cam said, number one seed in the West. You got to have one Phoenix Sun up there. I think that was a bit crazy that he's up there over Ja, but this year I think they pretty much got it right.
Yeah, and Devin Booker wasn't even the third most voted for. Luka Doncic ended up being there. So
that's the thing. For the starters, obviously, it comes down to the votes, right? So
yeah,
but all the guys who deserve to be there eventually make it. There's no real snubs ever. So
no,
I like the NBL. So
as long as Freddie gets there, I'm cool.
I think Pascal might too.
Yeah,
Pascal might.
I could see.
I don't know if Freddie's gonna get there. I think he should, but I don't know if he is.
I believe.
Yeah. Hey, we're talking a bunch about Andrew Wiggins being Canadian, and speaking of Canada.
Oh yeah. For
all of our soccer fans out there, Canada is just on top of the world right now in terms of soccer. They are the men's team, the men's national team is the absolute talk of the world in World Cup qualifying. They now have a 4-point lead in CONCACAF. It would take the most absolute colossal collapse of all time for them not to qualify for the World Cup. They already have wins over the USA and Mexico, which is absolutely unheard of. Not to mention coming off the women getting the gold medal in the Olympics. That's kind of crazy too when you think about it. Canada soccer is just on the up and up. And it's weird for
they
me.
They also didn't have Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, they were missing their best player in Alphonso Davies. But that's the thing. That's how good Canada is. You could see it against the USA. They're not as fast as the USA. The USA has an absolutely star-studded squad that is just completely underperforming right now. But you could see the USA was beating them to every 50-50 ball, but it was just Canada was winning the matchups. The speed that the U.S. brought, it didn't seem to phase Canada. It was the weirdest thing watching that game. And Canada just looks so damn good. It's the first time we've really seen world-class players play for Canada. Not to mention Alphonso Davies, who's probably a top 3 most valuable soccer player in the world right now. We also have a guy in Jonathan David who's absolutely tearing up the French league as well. Like, he's putting up great numbers with Canada. Kyle Larin is playing amazing. Not to mention Borjan, the keeper, playing absolutely fantastic, and he's playing in sweatpants, which always kills me.
Yeah.
I think it's the
Dude,
ugliest
it's freezing
thing
out
ever.
there. I don't blame him.
I think it's the ugliest thing ever, but hey, whatever works for you, right? But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that. I mean, it's weird for me to say because growing up, I was always a Germany fan in terms of World Cup, Euro, international play. But that's just because
That's
Canada.
That's what I was
Canada
gonna say.
sucked. Like, Canada was just never there. And
That's
now
what
it's
I-
like Canada's going to be in the World Cup. Like, that is just unprecedented to think. Like, I've never
Like-
been a part of that. I'm so excited about that.
100%. When we were kids, like, we were forced to pick like a different team to cheer for in the World Cup if you wanted to watch and support a team in the World Cup, just because Canada was never there. Like, you had people like random ass non-Portuguese people who were Portugal fans, Italian fans in the World Cup, but like now we actually get to cheer for Canada, which is fucking awesome. And no, it's really, really cool.
And
Really
Don't be
they're at
surprised
least
if they make some noise in the World Cup. Don't be
Yeah.
surprised.
I know.
and they're at least guaranteed back-to-back World Cups.
Yeah.
So what that's going to do for soccer in Canada as a whole over the next whatever years, 4 to 6 years, it's going to be fun. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not a crazy soccer guy at all, but like this is what makes me want to watch. Like,
Oh, yeah.
completely. So
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
definitely
this is
excited.
this is massive, dude. I think a lot of Canadian players are gonna start getting the respect they deserve to now. Like, we saw Tajon Buchanan just got signed to a club in Belgium, so I think we're gonna see a lot of guys go over to Europe a lot more than we've seen in the past. And that's the thing, dude. Don't be surprised if they make noise in the World Cup this year, dude. Think about it when it's in Canada and in
Yeah,
the US. Like,
yeah.
these guys they're young players who are going crazy right now are gonna be at the peak of their careers. Davies, David, Kyle Larin might be on the older side, but there's still going to be a lot of young up-and-coming guys, like you said, in the next 4 to 6 years who are just going to make this team better. So it's an exciting time to be a Canadian when it comes to soccer. And, expect big things, man. I think they'll get especially after the World Cup this year, if they perform well, I think they're going to start getting the respect that's warranted.
And I don't think it's like they're playing well above, like, obviously they're playing very good soccer. But, like, I don't think they're playing like out of their mind where like this is just kind of a fluke run.
You're
kind of
completely
thing. Like,
right.
they are
Yeah,
a
that's
good
what I was gonna
soccer
say.
country
Like, I'm not a crazy soccer follower, but like the stage just doesn't look too big for these guys. They're just
No.
like repeating these performances like game after game after game against teams that have been like perennially better than them. So very impressive. A lot to look forward to for sure.
No, like, people
Yeah.
don't realize like how world class some of these players are. Like, obviously we all know Alphonso Davies because he was the big Canadian prospect, the best prospect of all time. But a guy like Jonathan David, the guy who led League R in goals last year, that's a league that has Kylian Mbappe and Neymar. Like,
It's
these guys
insane.
are the best players in the world.
It's
Like,
insane.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and I think we have to give a lot of credit to as well is John Herdman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He's
What a
been
story.
he's been like involved with Canada for quite some time now, and he really built this team from the ground up. And like, sure, we have some great players, but we don't stack up against the best countries in the world. And I think that I think he's got the team to a point now where like the chemistry's there, the system's in place, and they just gotta continue riding this momentum.
Absolutely.
Like, Canada's just gonna be a team that like you're gonna see in the World Cup that you should beat. That you just have to play a sound game. Like a team like Germany, a team like Spain, whatever. Obviously, these guys have world class players, but if they come into like trouble against Canada, Canada doesn't make mistakes. Like they're a sound soccer team. Like, Canada's gonna be like, you have to beat us, man. You can't beat yourselves. If you do, we're gonna come back and score. Like,
Yeah.
and you saw it. Like, Alphonso Davies is the speed of this team, and we just beat Honduras and the U.S. 2-0 without them. Like, also another topic in CONCACAF is like Mexico is falling apart, which is shocking because they've been the cream of the crop in CONCACAF ever since we've been alive. Shut up.
Cream of the cock.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah, no.
Excited.
They have a game this Wednesday against El Salvador. Even if they won and Panama lost, they still wouldn't technically qualify yet. So they'd have to wait to the next international window. But it's looking like Canada's going to go to Qatar, and that is unreal, man. Like, already the World Cup is so fun to watch. I can't wait to experience a World Cup with Canada in it, man.
Boys, we going to Qatar or what?
I'm down.
I'm down. I'll tell you what, for sure. I'm definitely going to a World Cup game in 2026. That's for sure.
It'll be so dope.
Oh man, it's gonna be nuts. Soccer, like being a fan of soccer is just different than all other sports. It's different, like
For sure.
But yeah. Anyways, we can go on to the next topic, and this is a big one because we don't even technically know really if it's like confirmed. We were talking a bit about it in the future of Rodgers and Brady last week, and then this Wednesday, Adam Schefter tweeted that Brady was retiring, and Twitter got sent into a craze.
The world.
And then, the world got sent to a craze, and about 4 hours later, a bunch of tweets started popping up saying he's not retired. So I don't know what to take of it. I'm going to be honest. His dad said he's not retired. Apparently, Bruce Arians said that Tom Brady called him and said that he was still deciding.
That he wasn't even close to making a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, his agent too also texted Schefter or Rappaport, whoever it was, and said that he's not ready to make a decision yet.
Like that's got to be like an all-time like backfire for Adam Schefter.
Oh,
like,
bro, you should see the backlash he's getting on Twitter.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even backlash, but like it's just so funny. Like he'll tweet like, "Oh, I had a ham sandwich for lunch today," and everyone's like, "Source? What's your source? Source? Confirmed?"
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't even know. Like, I texted the group. I posted on Twitter like, if Brady's retiring, like this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I don't think. He
Oh,
will.
it's like one of those, the day comes, but when it does come, it's still like, what the fuck just happened?
But like I don't think we've experienced one of those yet. Like our parents went through like MJ and Gretzky retiring, but like I don't think we've gone through one of those yet. Maybe Jeter, but like other than that, like I don't think it compares. Like I don't think it compares. Like
no.
Like
I think the only one like people that we could compare it to right now is if like
LeBron.
The day that LeBron, Crosby, and Ovechkin retired. Like
Yeah.
We haven't seen those, so we don't know what it's like.
Yeah, you know, like me, the only person that was like super important that retired to me besides Calvin Johnson, but that wasn't like obviously on this latitude, would be Drew Brees, but that's just because of how big he was for New Orleans, you know. But like Tom Brady is on our like, yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with you. I mean, Peyton is probably more than Drew Brees. I mean, Peyton was kind of a global superstar, like Tom, not as much as Tom Brady, but Peyton Manning was the closest thing to Tom Brady back then, you know. So.
Yeah, we did see Anthony Calvillo retire. Let's not take anything away from him.
That's true.
That was a very sad moment for him.
He's a CFL GOAT, man. Like, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah,
I mean, same way Brady was too. Like,
I was just thinking about it too. Like, when Ronaldo and Messi retires, like we've never seen anything like the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry.
Nothing.
Like, because you could compare it to LeBron Jordan being the GOAT debate, but they never played against each other. We saw Messi and Ronaldo play against each other at least twice to three times a year, not for 9 years straight. Like, we saw it. And I mean, I'm as a soccer fan. You know, you guys aren't big soccer fans besides Liam, but like I'm just glad that I got to live through it because that's these are guys that we're gonna be talking about forever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and Tom Brady's right there. Like,
Tom Brady, if not, he might be the GOAT of all GOATs. Like, you know, like Absolutely. He was the best player for that long. He played till he's 44 and won a ship at 43. Like, that is unheard of. Like
6
rounds.
And
he retired literally on top.
Yeah.
Led the league, maybe not a championship, led the league in passing. Had one of his
Probably
best.
MVP.
Like, insane. Insane.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done, though. I don't think he's done.
Really?
I
He's
hope
gonna come
not.
back.
I honestly hope not.
If
I
he
don't
comes
know.
back, you think he comes back to the Bucks?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I
What do
think
we do?
If he comes
I
back, he's definitely staying in Tampa. He's not
Yeah,
going
he's
somewhere.
not. He's not going somewhere. He's not
he
moving
probably
again.
wouldn't move again.
Not at 45 years old. No,
No.
way.
I
But
don't know.
it-
I think like he's the type of
He's also
person.
still under contract in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
True.
yeah, he has a year left.
1 year
Oh.
left.
But he is the type of person though that like, just because this event happened and the fake retirement, like he's gonna come back for one more year, play till
Just
he's
to-
45,
yeah.
just to prove a point, just because this
Out
happened.
of spite, yeah.
Yeah, out of spite, 100%.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think
gonna play a
Rodgers
full
has a better
season.
chance of retiring than Brady.
What?
I think Rodgers would, in my eyes, Rodgers is more likely to retire than Brady.
I don't know. I think Brady's gonna retire. I think he's
Like,
done.
I agree, Shane. I think
Well,
he's
I don't think
done.
he's done. I think he's gonna retire. I think he could still dominate. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
he's
I mean, it's the same thing for both of them. They're the top 2 MVP picks. It's not like they're like they're
Imagine that.
all off.
I could see why you would say that Rodgers is more likely though.
it like because Rodgers' heart just wasn't in it. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
It's
can
just
see
what I
it.
felt.
Rodgers just
I
doesn't
felt-
give a shit. Rodgers
Exactly.
just wants to host Jeopardy.
Exactly. That job got filled. I think.
He'll find a way to get
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. But yeah,
But,
I don't know. What a crazy fucking like news story.
Yeah.
It's
Had the
insane.
world on fire for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like also like you're Adam Schefter, man. Like, how are you gonna like? I know that you have like sources everywhere,
Write your goddamn
like,
source.
but like to me, if it's Tom Brady, I'm not tweeting that he's
triple
retiring.
checking.
Yeah, I'm never tweeting until you retire until Tom Brady calls me and tells me himself or posts a video saying he's retiring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Bro, this guy went from a national treasure to everybody absolutely ripping him apart because he tweeted something prematurely.
like I saw this tweet saying like, you could see the only person that didn't tweet Tom Brady was retiring was Ari Medoff. That's my real goat. You know, like my sports update or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he is the goat.
he is. You know, whenever it's free agent season, I always have it like during the season, but I always see like,
Post noties on.
yeah, like you got to turn the noties on for Adam Schefter and Ari Medoff for
Absolutely.
when free agent starts for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be sad when all these guys retire. That's for sure.
And it's all gonna hit us at once too. Like within a 5-year window.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna
Yeah.
all come down on us. LeBron, Brady, Messi, Ronaldo, Crosby, Ovechkin.
Yeah,
Sad.
it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
you know.
But we're starting to get those baby goats in every sport too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah, it's
can't
good.
complain.
All the leagues are going to be in good hands, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. It's weird because you see in the NBA though, there's not a lot of like all of like the best players are still kind of like they're the biggest names we could say are still the older guys. Obviously, there's guys like LaMelo Ball. I mean, I guess you could call Giannis young still, but
At 26, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You guess.
yeah. And then you got like guys like LeBron and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. These are all guys that, I mean, we grew up with, and they're still kind of the best players in the NBA. So
Yeah.
you don't know what's happening there either.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we move on to our last our lock of the week, I just want to remind you guys of a couple of things for all of our fans. That next week's gonna be our Super Bowl special. That's a very fun episode. All things Super Bowl we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna actually have Tanner Marsh, a former guest, former Montreal Alouette, coming back on the show to talk football, to talk about the Super Bowl, to talk about the movie he was in. And
Hollywood superstar Tanner Marsh is joining us.
And
But,
for the team that's in the Super Bowl, nonetheless.
Absolutely.
What a
Oh,
coincidence!
God.
What a
Probably gets a
coincidence.
ring. Imagine.
But
Wow.
not only that, we're also here to remind you about our NBC Super Bowl Challenge. That should be going out either Saturday or Sunday. Saturday during the day, Sunday definitely in the morning if we only post it then. Basically what it is, you got all these Super Bowl props you wouldn't get on random games, like what's going to be the coin toss, what's going to be the color of the Gatorade that gets poured on the coach.
Jim Nance's tie color.
Yeah, who's like what's going to be Jim Nance's tie color. Then you got Other stuff
Bunch
like
of other stuff.
easy stuff like who's going to win the game, who's going to win Super Bowl MVP.
Frank Clark.
Yeah, Frank Clark. That's
From
for
his
sure.
couch.
But yeah, it's gonna be super easy to do. There's gonna be a link out. You click the link. You send whatever the pool money is to the email, and you fill out your form. There's gonna be a whole lot of questions, at least 20 to 30 like last year, and it's a really fun time. It makes the Super Bowl a whole lot better to watch, and you could win some money. I know a close friend of the show, Liam Fahey, won last year. Quite the pool. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more participants this year.
Mhm.
It's gonna be really fun. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, in terms of betting, we could move on to our last little segment here, and that's our lock of the week in terms of betting with consequences.
Oh.
Last week, the consequence being the cinnamon challenge. The week before that, the ice bucket challenge.
I've had to do both.
Yeah, so Dawson has already done both. Cam has yet to do either. LBS still needs to do his cinnamon challenge. I did the ice bucket challenge. Shayner's actually 2 for 2. Don't look now, but Shayner's hot. Shayner's feeling nice.
I've also got the only team left to play in the Super Bowl.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. But yeah, this week our consequence is going to be it's going to be not necessarily a future consequence, but it's for the Super Bowl. We got to bet on everyone's favorite Bengal, Eli Apple.
Piece of burnt toast.
Oh, man. It's
Eli Apple to win Super Bowl MVP at plus 40,000, I believe was the
it's
number.
20,000.
Plus 20,000.
$5 bet pays out $1,000.
Looked like a bum, and he still came out yapping.
Yeah, so you definitely want to get this one right, probably.
Bro, if he wins, I'm gonna run through a door.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, we're going back to Canada soccer. Canada has one more game in this international window. They're going to El Salvador and playing there on Wednesday at 9. Give me Canada to win.
All right. Like Matt said, I've had to do both of these punishments, and I've tried so hard to play it safe. So hard. Chiefs money line with this sprinkle like Packers plus. I had Packers plus against the 49ers. That didn't work out. So I'm going to go with a little parlay. Those have done me so well in the past. On Wednesday, so the day you guys are listening to this episode, we're going to parlay 2 huge favorites over underdogs just to hope they come through. I'm guessing it'll tally up to about plus 250 or minus 250, which is our limit. So I have at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, February 2nd, I have the Calgary Flames beating the Arizona Coyotes. Parlayed in the NBA with the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the Houston Rockets.
How about the Cavaliers, man? Wow, like I don't know.
Lock it in.
It's about time. I wouldn't say it's out of nowhere. The whole team's lottery picks.
That's very true. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a lock unity here. I'm also gonna be taking Canada money line in El Salvador.
Believe it or not, it's actually at minus 115. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scary one because El Salvador is a tough place to play. Canada's been traveling back and forth, Honduras, Canada, back to El Salvador, but look for the boys to get the job done in down south.
Love it.
I'm assuming this is going to come in under minus 250, but tomorrow night, Tuesday, February 1st, I'm going to take the Preds money line. They're playing the Canucks. Canucks got shut out against Calgary in overtime on Saturday night. They're playing again tonight against Chicago and then going to Nashville tomorrow night. So they're on a little road trip here. So I'm gonna take the Preds money line here.
Dawson, let's ride, buddy. I got Flames minus 1.5.
Okay. On Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Arizona.
Fuck. Now I'm scared.
What do you mean? I'm 2-0.
I know. But now I have a whole other leg that I'm doing without you. I like it, though. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, listen, that does it for episode 57 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. Like we said before, stay tuned. Next week, we have the Super Bowl special with special
Huge
guest
week.
Tanner Marsh. Not to mention the NBC Super Bowl Challenge. Don't know if that's what we're going to call it, but I kind of like that. The NBC Super Bowl Challenge. Hey, if you're still here, give this video a little like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Nothing But Controversy, and Shaner will give you a big fat kiss.
Shaner.